Hey there, Busy Bee here. Do you remember Skylanders? They were one of the Toys to Life series where you scanned a little figure on a portal and then bam! You could play with your toy in the game. It was honestly really cool and innovative, but extremely expensive over time. I would also argue Skylanders tend to be a bit too easy with all the power-ups and level-ups you get during the game. So I decided to test myself and see if I could beat Skylanders Spyro's adventure with only level 1 figures. Rules are simple. I can only use level 1 figures, and once they hit level 2, I can't use the figure again. I cannot buy upgrades or use hats. I have to use the Skylanders like they just came out of the box. Also, I can only use the main Skylanders. No alternative forms like Dark and Legendary. And to make things more fun for myself, I'm gonna spin a wheel to randomize which Skylanders I can use to make things more interesting and potentially painful. Now with the rules out of the way, let's begin. We start our adventure being told about the world of Skylanders, and now we're to meet up with Flynn and Hugo, two of our friends in this world. Hugo talks about the core exploding and that he's waiting for us. So, let's spin the wheel! Double trouble, huh? Alright, that's fine. He can make a mini duplicate of himself as well as shoot a beam of magical energy, so that's neat. Anyway, in Shattered Island, we learn how the game works via firing cannons, unlocking gates, and meeting the inhabitants of this world, such as, Rizzo, Nort, and we can't forget Blobbers.
By Pythagoras' theorem, you're a Skylander, aren't you?
Anyway, we meet up with Kronk.
Name's Flynn.
Flynn, and he's trying to pick us up in his hot air balloon before a giant rock comes flying at us. It's okay. What's not okay is we landed our first combat encounter. It was easy, but damn it, the EXP homes in no matter how far away you are. I was hoping that we could just avoid that. Alright, well we press forward, save the villagers, and escape via airship, where what's really going on is explained to us. So what's going on is, the previous master Eon was holding back the darkness with the power of Skylanders, then invades one of the funniest villains in gaming, Chaos.
Behold, it is I, Chaos!
Oh, hi Zim. Anyway, Eon and Chaos start bickering towards each other and eventually start fighting. And even though the Skylanders are winning, Chaos pulls a Plankton and does a Plan Z and blows up the core, basically dooming Skylands unless the core is put back together. Also, Eon died. RIP. Now he's a ghostly floating head who will give us advice sometimes. Neat. Anyway, on to level 2, Perilous Pastures. We're here to rescue a girl named Callie who's going to help us get to the next area. And we run into some new types of enemies, but since there isn't an enemy gate, we can just ignore them and go around. At the end of the level, we can't, however, because once we get into the turret to blow up the locks, the game outright kills them and sends the EXP towards us. But I noticed when I got out that not all the EXP came to us. So I wonder now if it just wasn't far enough before? Anyway, we save Callie, we watch Flynn be a real charmer.
Flynn the balloonist here. That's me at your service.
Charming.
Yes, I know. Must be pretty overwhelming for you to finally meet the best pilot in all of Skylands.
Yeah, so smooth. And we escape with still only a level 1 double trouble. Nice. Onto the Sky Schooner? Anyway, Sky Docks, where we're here to get a propeller for the air balloon. We knock out a few dozen airships with turrets, but unfortunately, we run to a couple mandatory enemy fights. We beat them both, but look how close we are to leveling up. We meet Persephone the fairy and, well crap, we hit level 2. Guess it's time to spin the wheel! It's Drobot time! What's important to know about him is he shoots lasers from a very far range. so he's extremely useful, and I really didn't want him this early in the game. Oh well, it is what it is. We take down the last of the enemies, blow up the final airship, and get ourselves the propeller we need to move on to the next area. So far, the challenge has been a breeze, but I know for a fact the amount of EXP we get from enemies is going to keep increasing higher and higher. So that's a little worrying. Alright, so Stormy Stronghold is where the first of 8 elements are being held. This one being the wind element. Couldn't you tell by the giant tornado? Anyway, we make our way past most of the enemies, spin these rods to the ground to reconnect the floating castle together, and make it all the way to the top where, unfortunately, there's a really big combat encounter, and we almost die at one point. But we are lucky enough to get
Cake!
Yes, Flynn, thank you, and survive. But we're also so close to level 2 that the next forced combat encounter will be the end of Drobot. Ah. Oh well, we got the air element now, so that's neat. But Chaos is aware of our existence now, and he's super grumpy about it. So he's going to be hunting for the other elemental sources. Rat baskets. Oh well, now we got the air element, we can start our search for the water element. On to Oil Spill Island, where the island is being polluted by these trolls drilling for oil. So we go to stop them, but, well, Drobot hit level 2. Time to spin the wheel! That's ironic. Let's get a fire Skylander to tackle the oil spill. What could possibly go wrong? Anyway, Sunburn uses Flame Breath for damage, as well as a teleporting Flame Blast to move around. Pretty useful stuff. So we do the crystal laser puzzles, free the Gilman from their cages, and are then told to blow up the oil factory. Yeah, great plan, guys. Let's use an explosive on an oil rig. Nothing bad could come from that. Watch. Yeah, I think everyone turned into fish sticks. On to Darkwater Cove. This place is home to a ton of pirates, so we're gonna need to be sneaky about infiltrating this place, and they saw us and sunk our ship. Alright, Blaze of Glory it is! There's a couple of forced combat scenarios in this level, but we're able to get the twin spouts of Ocean Major Minor, invade a ship, and escape, all without leveling up once. Excellent! Our time is about out, however, so I hope you weren't too invested in Sunburn. Anyway, the water element is on a string of islands guarded by a big Leviathan, so let's go! Alright, so here we are in Leviathan Lagoon. We're told to collect 4 idols to put into a device that'll reveal the water element to us. Unfortunately, they're being guarded by these little imps, and the second we knock one down, we level up. Oh well, let's spin the wheel! Woo, Terrafin! He's a pretty decent melee Skylander, with strong punches and the ability to dig underground and avoid all enemies. With him, we're able to catch the imp guarding a key, but geez, that's a lot of EXP for one enemy. We do our best to avoid enemies, but while collecting the idols, we have to take out another one. After we get our third, apparently...
About time you got here. What? I took a shortcut.
Shut up. Apparently, the pirates are trying to escape. So we blow them up, take the last idol, and dig under the big minion guarding the bridge as we put the idols into the pedestal and the water... So we got eaten alive by the Leviathan and chaos. Oh no, this is the first boss battle of the game, and he summons a shadowy dark version of Zap to fight us. Luckily, he's no issue, but then...
I summon the deadly shark back of Doom Sharks!
Oh no, not the Doom Sharks! Fun fact, Terrafin can literally swim underneath them, taking no damage, and in fact, he's healing health. Your sharks do nothing.
Impossible! You survived my best water spell! You survived a very mediocre water spell that I found laying around somewhere. I am not impressed!
Oh, that wasn't the threat, huh? Oh, okay. Anyway, we beat up his summoned Gill Grunt and Slam Bam, but unfortunately level up. So let's spin the wheel! And we got voodooed. I don't know what he does beyond hit people with a stick, because Chaos decided to summon all 3 Dark Skylanders to fight me, and all I had time to do was smack them repeatedly before nearly dying multiple times. But we do beat him and get the water element. We watch it get installed in a really cool cutscene as Chaos is bragging that everything is fine before he chokes on a chicken leg.
Now is everything all right?
Heimlich!
This is our villain, everyone. Now I bet at this point you're wondering, why am I not really covering much of the story? Well, to be honest, most of the plot until the end is meet new character, new level, new character has you get item from another level, get element, repeat. Not that these characters aren't charming, hell, look at Flip.
Cake!
I just rather cover what's not the same thing in a different coat of paint, that's all. Like the next level, Crystal Eye Castle. We gotta whack these eyes to get through gates and destroy 2 towers to get the Crystal Eye. Oh, rip. Anyway, we make it a little bit of the way, but well, Voodoo died, so we're gonna restart the level. The enemies are hitting a lot harder than they used to, but we're able to mostly sneak our way to the tower. We were forced to deal with a lot of enemies. So Voodoo naturally levels up, and so naturally, we spin the wheel! Okay, Boomer. Boomer's pretty neat. He throws dynamite and, well, to be honest, that's it. So with that, we blow up a tower as we barely make it to the next one, where we go splat. Alright, run it back. Back in the tower, and after realizing we have to take out all the enemies before the tower goes boom, we deal with everyone at range and take out the twin towers. So, anyway, we make it to the place where the Crystal Eye is being held, and we're being messed up. And near the end of the room, we level up, so we spin the wheel! Ah, Prism Break. He's, well, to be honest, the worst Skylander in my opinion. He shoots a laser beam from his arm and drops rocks that reflects those beams in multiple directions, which, it sounds cool, but like, do you see what's happening? I'm nearly obliterated and can barely get off an attack, so I have to run around in circles for minutes on end, landing attack and attack once in a blue moon. Well, eventually I beat all the enemies, basically on life support, and the eye is ours. Yay! Next up is Stone Town, and barely into the level, I'm shredded into pebbles. Alright, next attempt, we loop the enemies around, so we're able to get past this gate, and unfortunately at points, we're forced to beam our way through enemies until we get inside the castle with 3 keys. We try to grab one, and damn it, it's an imp. We eventually catch it and take the key, but we level up in the process. Honestly, good riddance. Time to spin the wheel! Sonic Boom! She's cool. She shoots sound waves at enemies and eggs that hatch into little guys who help out. Anyway, the rest of the level was a breeze up until the next boss, the Earth Element. He throws massive boulders at us and launches rocks from above, but with enough time and self-sabotage, we're able to take him out. But we leveled up so fast by taking him down. Alright, we're gonna collect the element, and then after, we'll spin the wheel! Drill Sergeant's okay. He shoots his drills one at a time and can also ram into things. He's alright. Hopefully he's useful enough in Treetop Terrace. The bees are working with the elves to hog the seeds of life for themselves. How could you? This area has a lot of forced combat encounters, which as you can see, isn't going very well. Also, at some point, we have to push a giant ball to get through all these enemies, and to my knowledge, EXP does not despawn. So we collect it, level up, and say goodbye to Drill Sergeant. You'll be missed. But hey, at least you can watch me spin the wheel! Igniter! He does what any great flame swordsman should do. Slash things with fire and shoot fire projectiles out of his head. And with all the combat at this level, he's surprisingly good at taking out all the enemies. And with that, we collect the seeds of life and move on to the falling forest. But not before we listen to Chaos complain about the trees being out to get him, of course.
An acorn? I knew it! Cursed, miserable, deceitful trees! They're hiding my acorn!
You have acorns?
Nonsense, fool! It's simple. The eternal life source is actually a giant acorn! See? And it's being hidden in a filthy forest by a band of despicable bark-covered betrayers who are obviously out to get me!
The trees?
Of course the trees! What do you think I'm talking about? Ooh!
Silly Chaos. Anyway, onto the level, and damn, those chainsaws are massive! I can see why the chainsaw devil's so feared. Anyway, we make it a decent way into the level, but we can only avoid combat for so long. So eventually, we level up and spin the wheel! Camo! How fitting! He shoots seeds from his mouth and summons vines to do damage. We're able to clear the rest of the level no problem, and a nut inside of a nut. Nice. Never mind, not nice, it's chaos time! And he's summoning more Skylanders to defeat us! First one goes down, but then he does something crazy.
I summon my totally unbeatable deadly evil life spell of ultimate death!
Oh no! It's as simple as shooting the red thing so we don't get damaged. Next Skylander is Stealth Elf, and I bring that up because, well, beating her levels us up. Dang it! Guess it's time to spin the wheel! Wow, double life Skylanders in a row, and the life element no less. Stump Smash kinda sucks, but like, he shoots a big ol' acorn, and he smashes things with his stumps. That's it though. We deal with the next spell, and oh look, a mirror match. Look at how much more powerful it is than us. It's not fair. Anyway, we take him out, deal with the mystery spell, and it takes minutes because, jeez, this one was hard. And we fight all 3 minions at once. Except, after we take down 2, we get so much EXP and level up. Ugh. Time to spin the wheel! It's zap time! He zaps enemies and summons big old tidal waves. With that, we easily finish off the evil Skylander, and the nut is ours. I am getting worried though. We only have half the elements, and we're almost down half our Skylanders. Can we do this? Why are you sideways?
Named Snuckles. That's right, Special Agent Snuckles.
Bro gives major weight energy. on the Troll Warehouse, where we were raiding enemy territory to take back our stolen golden gear. Apparently, Snuckles was someone we saved from the tornado, so that's neat. Anyway, we do some puzzles, and look, there's the gear! Alright, we need to find the map pieces to the minefield. The entire time, though, we're running around and getting shredded by machine guns and cannons, even taking us out at the end. Run it back. Okay, so the second I get back there, I leveled up. Well, it was real, Zap. Time to spin the wheel! Ooh, Eruptor! Fun fact, this was the first Skylander I ever bought as a kid. He shoots magma and literally erupts magma around us. We take a ton of missiles, as well as make our way back to the minefields. Sadly, we're so wide, but you know, we make it through. And for some reason, are blasted out of here in a rocket. What? That's just crazy. Onto the goo factory, where we're tasked in destroying the factories and receiving said goo for our own uses. Gross. Anyway, we're able to sneak our way past the enemies, blowing up their stockpiles, and are told of a mega bomb. Ooh. So we grab one of those and blow up a wall. Nice. But we are sadly gunned down after. Reset. Run, Eruptor! Run for your life! After escaping the tank, we blow up another wall and try to capture the flags of our enemies. We got 2 of them and then are blocked by a tank that blows us up. I find out that no matter what I do, I'm gonna have to sacrifice Eruptor to have a chance to make it through there. So, I guess once he goes down, I spin the wheel! Perfect timing, we got Spyro the Dragon. He can shoot flames, but what I really care about is his charge. He makes it so he runs really fast, and because of that speed, I'm able to make it past that stupid tank and hoist the 3rd flag. Rest in peace, Eruptor. You will be missed. Time to enter the battlefield, and, well, I'm a failure. Anyway, this level was actually surprisingly easy. There were some enemies I had to take out, yeah, the next boss showed up. But by using bombs, we were able to take it out in 5 hits and avoid most of the EXP, making this level the first level in a long time where we didn't level up. Let's go! But yeah, that's not gonna last long. Next up, the crawling catacombs. And yeah, these little kamikaze spiders explode and give me all their EXP, so we level up. Well, good on you, Spyro. I'll be seeing you in your PS1 trilogy soon. Time to spin the wheel! Flame Slinger, nice. He shoots fiery arrows and can run really fast, leaving a fire trail behind us. First objective, though, is we need to get 3 keys. So we go running around, killing what we need to, and bam, that's all 3 keys. Next, we get a little sidetracked doing an optional puzzle. Whoops. And then run to that giant spider that's guarding the key with its life. So we have to destroy the spider. In doing so, we unfortunately level up. Alright, let's spin the wheel! Dino Rang, nice. He can throw boomerangs in front or around him, which works well for those cramped labyrinths. We need to find 2 more keys, and unfortunately, that means taking out a lot of enemies. Heck, literally 2 minutes after getting them, we lose Dino Rang. Just spin the wheel. Tornado, that's dope. He can spin around in 7 tornadoes and are you serious? In the same encounter? Just spin the damn wheel. The news keeps getting worse. We got Happy Trigger. He's my literal favorite Skylander. Why is this bad? I was really hoping I'd have him for the final boss, since I've soloed the boss with him before. Alas, we got him now. So we finish off the spiders and grab the mask. Get me the hell out of here. Alright, on to the next level, Cavernous Crypt. There's a lot of zombies here, and they can't be taken out by anything that's not fire. So we gotta go around them and get cornered. Second try, and we get trapped without the giant trying to crush me, and we make some progress by blowing up walls and putting down gates. Unfortunately, we're trapped again, and Happy Trigger is forced to level up. Guess it's time to spin the wheel! Gilgrunt! With that, we have all 3 of the starter pack Skylanders gone. Gilgrunt can shoot a harpoon and a water cannon. Neato! We're able to clear the encounter just to get trapped in another one and die. Okay, we make it back and deal with the caster and the skeletons, but we end up leveling up. Why do these undead levels suck so much? Spin the wheel! It's time for Wrecking Ball. His only useful move, in my opinion, is his tongue attack, which he uses to take out the skeletons. We blow up some more walls and oh my god, I hate this level! 15 minutes later, we get back and we make it past the stupid zombies and end up in a forced encounter where we end up leveling up. Just spin the damn wheel. I'm so tired. Alright, cool. We got Cinder. She can shoot lightning and
it's gone.
Zook time! He launches missiles. Cool. Doesn't matter though, cause that's the end of the level. We're down to 10 Skylanders, guys. That's really not good. Creepy Citadel is the last of the undead areas, thankfully. And to get through it, we need to do some light puzzles, fail epically at this lock, and get through the weird face labyrinth, which at the end of it, there are 2 massive spiders we have to fight. Thankfully, Zook has a lot of range, but once both are taken down, we level up. Thank you, Zook. You did well. Time to spin the wheel! Wham Shell is up, and he hits kinda hard and launches shells from his mace. He doesn't last long, however, because while fighting the spiders, he levels up, so spin the wheel again! Wham Bam! Basically Wham Shell, but ice flavored. And because of that, we're only able to get a little farther before leveling up. Right before the boss, too. Just wheel spin. Stealth Elf. She hits fast, but is frail as heck. Which doesn't help us, because now it's chaos time! Yeah, I didn't think so. He sends out Ghost Roaster, he just 3-taps us. Time to restart the level. Oh wait, it starts us at the boss fight? Oh, thank God. Next attempt and, well, I think we broke him? If we just keep running circles around him, we won't attack. Neat. Once dead, we level up though, so time for another wheel spin. Hex is up. She can shoot projectiles and rain them down from the sky. She struggles a good bit against Chop Chop, so much that we lose, but next try we're able to win. Barely taking any damage in the process.
You may be wondering why I'm laughing. Because I know you can't keep this up. Soon you will make a mistake, and then this will all be over.
I hate to agree with Chaos, but he's probably right. Next up is another mirror match, but my Hex is somehow better than his, and we beat her. But we do level up, so spin the wheel! Whirlwind is not great. Shoots rainbows and storm clouds. Desperately needs upgrades to be good, so yeah, it's shown we get clapped immediately by the 3 enemies. After like 20 attempts, yes really, we finally take down all of Chaos's minions with Whirlwind. We're finally out of the undead area. This place is horrible. With 5 Skylanders left in a dream, we enter the Molten Mines. A lot of moles are trapped via a cave-in, so we have to rescue them. What sucks about this area is the lack of space to move around enemies. Oh well, we're able to rescue 4 of them before we level up, so let's spin the wheel! It's Ghost Roaster! He can whip enemies and turn into a floating skull. Pretty quickly, we're able to round up all the moles and give this one a ride back to the entrance. Only 4 Skylanders left. Time to go to the Lava Lakes Railway, where the fire element lingers. We have to avoid enemies while we flip levers, and we're able to do that pretty dang well. And the caves aren't that crowded. So we end up near the lava, which just requires us to do some block puzzles. Simple enough. And now onto the lakes themselves, and uh-oh. I count 3 combat gates. Dealing with the first one, and Ghost Roaster is now level 2. So let's spin the wheel. Chop chop, huh? Alright. He chops things. We try to clear a path, but are doing so little damage, and we're just taken out with ease. Guys, I'm just gonna call it. We're not getting to the next level. I'm sad to say that no, you cannot beat Skylanders Spyro's Adventure with level 1 Skylanders. I'm genuinely surprised at how fast EXP gains and difficulty spiked. I remember this game being super easy as a kid, minus the final boss, but dang was I proven wrong. And heck, maybe I could have played better, but there's no way that playing better would help us get through the entirety of the rest of the game. Well, even though the first game can't be beaten, it doesn't mean the other ones aren't possible, right? Tune in sometime in the future for when I tackle giants. But regardless of that, thank you so much for watching. Let me know if there's any challenge runs you'd like to see. Like, comment, and subscribe, because this has been Busy Bee. Peace!